Hi, my name is Darren Golka. I get the great pleasure of sharing with you over the next 30 or 40 minutes or so a story and a journey about our company and an amazing opportunity. So, I'm going to share two parts today with you. I'm going to share the first part about really what we do as a company. How does Experior Financial Group change the lives of so many families across Canada and put them in a much better financial position? Putting them in place, getting the wealthy knowledge, the Wall Street knowledge to Main Street people. And I can tell you, for my wife and I, has completely changed our lives forever. And that's the first part of our story. The second part of our story, I want to transition a little bit and tell you about the opportunity to be in this amazing, amazing industry and completely and possibly change your financial life forever on the business side of what we do as a company. So let's dive in and take the next 30, 40 minutes and share with you that story. So we are a global MGA IMO, and MGA in Canada stands for Managing General Agency. And so we had our humble beginnings here in Canada. 2014, we opened up our head office here, been growing and branching out all across Canada and now right across North America. We had over 3,000 agents with us and now growing to over 10,000 across North America. Our U.S. expansion happened in 2020. So for any of us here, it's been an amazing journey. The ability to build a business and help families across Canada, and now being able to grow a business and help families across North America. It's just been an amazing, amazing opportunity to be able to have a global business and be able to have income coming in from multiple areas across Canada and the US. So what is our mission statement? Our mission statement is building financial foundations for families to empower them today and leave a legacy for tomorrow. And so many families wonder, what would my legacy be? How do I create a legacy? How do I get empowered today with financial knowledge and financial education? How do wealthy do it? How do wealthy families continue to build wealth upon wealth upon wealth? And how does the everyday basic Canadian even fair chance against some of these wealthy families? Well, you need the knowledge and education information. So that's our mission, is to bring that to families, to empower them with the knowledge, with the information that the wealthy families are using. And so that's one of my passions, is being able to bring that to families every single day and be able to give them that opportunity that maybe they never got before, was to be able to apply what the wealthy know about money and how money works to their everyday lives. Now, when it comes to our product partners, the beautiful part of Experior is that we access the multi-billion-dollar companies in the industry. And so what this means for our clients is, it means that we can shop around for them. It's kind of like taking a Walmart shopping cart down the aisles and picking the best products or services or products that you would need for your family. And so same thing here, we get the ability to shop around because we're not a one-trick pony with just offering one solution, only one carrier, like some other firms out there, which to me really doesn't give the clients or the consumer the benefit of the doubt, because not every company is created equal. So having these multi-billion-dollar partnerships really gives us credibility, but also gives choice for the client and also choice for the agent to make sure we're matching the family's needs to what we can offer in the marketplace. And so there's three reasons why, however, people fail financially. And the number one reason why people fail is there's no financial education. That's the biggest reason that people fail today. They just don't have the education and knowledge to really make proper informed decisions. The second part is no plan. And so it's, we always plan, I always say people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. We plan birthday parties, Christmas parties, gatherings, but do we really sit down and spend quality time to plan our entire financial future? Most of us didn't and don't. And I didn't when I first got started, until I saw this information, and it changed my life completely 20 years ago now today. And so the third one is no coaching. Even the greatest players of all time, the GOATs of all time, the greatest of all time players, you look back at, some of the late Kobe Bryants, LeBron James, the Wayne Gretzky's, the Tom Brady's of the world, all those great athletes still needed a coach. And so we believe that today, the reason why so many people are succeeding financially is because they have good financial coaches. And that's kind of what the wealthy are able to do, but they can afford to pay for it. What about the average Canadian family? Can we really afford to pay for that? That's where we come in, by providing that coaching and that ability to give you that information. So when you look at all the financial confusion out there, a lot of people have many, many questions about all these areas that are circling around our brains on a daily basis. And man, by the time you take care of family and you take care of your job and take care of your home or the place you're renting and you do all that, how do you have time to figure all this stuff out on the screen? And that's where we bring the knowledge and the information and empower people with the knowledge of exactly what to do with all of these areas of their financial lives. And so for newer Canadians today, it's even worse because they're new to the country. They're just getting started. They have no clue. But even for people who are born here, if you don't sit down and make a proper plan, it's going to be really hard to figure out where and when to use these areas. So this is one thing we bring to the table, is that clarity for people to manage all these different areas and when to use them, when maybe not to use them, so they can get themselves on track better financially. So what about debt strategy? So let me ask you a question here. If there was a way to save tens of thousands in interest and become debt-free years sooner, would you want to know how? Absolutely. Of course you would, right? Question number two, if someone you know is drowning in debt and they could wipe out up to 75% of it and pay the balance off with 0% interest over the next 5 years, would that help them get on track financially? Absolutely it would. We have companies and partners that allow us to do these kinds of things, and we can recommend ways to get out of debt so much faster and manage your debt better. But do you have a debt strategy? If you don't have a debt strategy, I'd encourage you to get started with us today and get that happening. How about a protection strategy? You know, this is the most endearing picture we'll see on this presentation today, but if a family member were to pass away unexpectedly, what would happen to the family? You know, when you look at the two options out there, would you want option one or would you want option two? And, you know, the saddest thing that I see too many times today are these GoFundMe pages, because somebody just didn't either have the time, didn't have the knowledge, didn't have someone they knew and trusted to come to the table with them or sit down in their home and bring to them a solution to properly protect their family. And it breaks my heart, seriously, when I see the GoFundMe pages online, because I just think to myself, who didn't speak to that family? How come they didn't have a chance to sit down with a professional or an agent that could show them the different options? Instead of option one, have an option two instead and completely protect their family. So if you don't have a protection strategy today, I'd highly encourage you to get one and talk to the person who invites you to see this presentation. The other strategy, investment strategy. You know, most people are not prepared for retirement. Look at this stat. At age retirement, look at the crazy stats here. Almost 75%. So almost 3/4 of everyone out there in Canada is not prepared for retirement, has 100 grand or less. Think about this for a moment. How far would $100,000 go throughout your entire retirement? Would it even last 1 year today? Maybe 2 years if you're lucky, if you really live beneath your means. But $100,000, that means that if we look at all the people around us, 75% of all of our friends and family are not going to make it. These are the stats. This is the numbers, right? So numbers don't lie. And so when you look at the facts and the stats, you know, how could you maybe avoid ending up here? So this is one of the questions we ask our families. You know, if you don't want to end up here, what is your plan? What is your strategy? So again, so many things that we can do here. So let's jump into a little bit of education. So first of all, what is your FIN number? FIN number is the amount of money you'd have to have put away by retirement to live comfortably. So let's do a quick calculation here. If you got your pen and paper, just mentally you can try and do this, but I'll give you some of the answers below. So what is your monthly expenses? Multiply that by 12 to get your yearly expense. Let's just say you're burning through 5 grand a month right now. Times that by 12 would be 60,000. Then multiply that by the number of years that you could live in retirement. So let's just say you retired by 65 and you lived to 85. That's 20 years. So check this out. If you're spending today 5 grand a month and times 12 months times 20 years of retirement, that's a $1.2 million FIN number. So do you have money put away for that? And so if you're spending and you know, putting out $7,000 a month out to live with you and your spouse and your family, times that by 12, times that by 20 is 1.68 million. If you're using $9,000 a month, and I can give you my real, you know, scenario of my family, my mom and dad, my late father, my mother, they were spending around that amount because they needed extra care, you know, care for my dad. And my mom had to live separately because they could no longer live together. He needs special needs care, and they don't allow you to live together when that happens, unfortunately. And so, you know, that $9,000 a month times 12 months times 20 years is $2.1 million. So the question is, what is your plan to get there? And do you have this already in your bank account today? For the answer for 99.9% of people, the answer is no today. But, you know, over time, what is the plan to get and reach your FIN number? So taking a look at some education. So what is the rule of 72? The rule of 72 states that if you take the interest rate of what you're getting on your investments, divide it into 72, that's how many years it will take for your money to double. So let's take a look at a couple examples here. If you didn't know any better, and by the way, Albert Einstein calls compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. I truly believe it, because when you allow money the chance to compound and build, it grows for you, not against you. And so 4%, if you didn't know any better and you went to a bank and they gave you 4%, You don't get anywhere near that in a savings account today. Obviously, it's less than 0.5% on most accounts, or almost zero for that matter. But let's say you got 4%. 4 into 72 goes 18 times. That means that after 18 years, your money would double just one time. No one gets excited about waiting for 18 years. It's like the painful process of watching paint dry or grass grow, okay? So 10 goes to 20 and 40,000. But what if you got some education? You were able to understand the proper places to invest. You sat down with someone from our firm, and you were able to understand that if you were to invest a little bit wiser, take a little more risk, obviously, to get a little higher rate of return. Let's say you average 8%. So 8 goes into 72 9 times. 8 times 9 equals 72. Your same 10 grand is growing twice as fast. 10 goes to 20 to 40 to 80 to 160,000. So check this out. This is crazy. This is only 2 times the difference, but it's 4 times the result. Check this out. What happens if you took more risk and you're willing to take a portion of your investment and put it at higher risk areas, but you did average 12%? Now, a lot of people say, well, Darren, where do you get 12% interest today? There's lots of places that have been averaging that kind of rate of return for many years. And so you just have to know where to go. So let's say a portion of your investment is more aggressive at 12%. And let's say you put 10 grand here. Well, this money doubles every 6 years now because you have compound interest and a higher potential rate of return working for you. And so $10,000 grows to 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, $640,000. So take a look at this. This is only 3 times the return up here, but it's 16 times the compound return. That's the power of compound interest. Remember that previous example. What if both you or your spouse or significant other was to create 2 accounts like this, and you managed to both put aside and grow a $640,000 account times 2? There's your $1.2 million, folks. And so this is what we teach our families, is how to position your money to get out of the low rate of return into the potential higher rate of return. I have to say potential. We can't guarantee these, but we've seen time and time again, market averages yield these kinds of great rates of return. And so you just have to know where to go. Now, I want to talk about the opposite side of compound interest against you. Imagine a credit card debt. And so I can tell you my personal story. I had $116,000 at one point in my career, my life, at 18% interest. So 18% is doubling against you every 4 years. And so interest against you crushes you financially. And that's why we have these debt strategies and ways to get out of it. But that just gives you a little idea. You want to get debt out of your life, and you want to get investing in your life as fast as you can. So let's take a look at this financial house. So this kind of summarizes everything. You know, there's always a foundation to a good house. If you were to build a big house today, or a nice home for your family, the very first thing you do is dig a hole and build a what? A foundation. So what is the foundation of a proper financial house today? That foundation is insurance, because that is the protection strategy you need, whether it's life or critical, disability, or estate and tax planning. That creates that foundation. That's the rock solid foundation that your life is built on. If you take out a breadwinner today, an income earner today, that family is completely devastated. Now, let's take a look at the different pillars of wealth here. So with real estate, for example, today there's the FHSA just came out. It's a first home savings account. We teach families how to set those up and put those to work for them and their family so you can get their first home here in Canada. There's also mortgage partners, access to the best rates, mortgage insurance alternatives. If you have mortgage insurance, that's great, but we can show you much better and much safer alternatives that are more guaranteed to obviously pay out, because with mortgage insurance, it's underwritten when you're dead, kind of hard to defend yourself. If you just happen to answer one simple wrong question because you didn't know any better, they won't pay out. And that's the unfortunate part. There's the debt solutions I mentioned earlier. So again, this area here is really to help you save money. The second and third areas here and fourth areas are going to be on the investment side. So with an RRSP or LIRAs, you know, there's tax deductions for using these kinds of structures. There's tax deferred growth, but just like CPP, old age security, all of this together is all fully taxable. So there's a tax liability if this is all you do. So there's other ways to invest. So that tax liability is a big one. And so that's 100% taxable on the way out. Now with open or non-registered investment, there's potential tax deductions here, tax deferred growth, but then there's capital gains tax at the end. So half of all of the growth would be taxable at this point. And then there's the tax-free savings account, which is where there's no tax break going in. There's annual limits and there's lifetime limits, but you get tax-free growth and tax-free withdrawal. So this one is a no tax situation. So then there's the final one, which a lot of people don't understand, which is the insurance area. So there's really two types of insurance in this world. There's term insurance, which is low cost. Then there's permanent insurance. And so each one has its own unique value proposition. So if you're just really, really looking for the lowest cost insurance, that's term insurance all day long. But then there's permanent insurance where there is no tax deduction for purchasing it and putting the extra money into it above and beyond the insurance. But that extra money you put into permanent insurance is tax deferred growth. You can access it tax-free through a special program. And also the death benefit is 100% tax-free to your beneficiaries. And so the only one thing about this is you do have to qualify. So when you look at these areas, you look at being able to save money, and then you look at the unfortunate areas of having to pay tax. So again, the red areas here are where we're going to be paying tax. So what if we showed you how to not only just save money, but what about this? How about position yourself to get zero tax on the tax-free savings and also zero tax through an insurance tax shelter vehicle? So again, each one depends on your situation, but this is what we do as a plan is we take a look at putting this all together under one comprehensive program that incorporates your FIN number, incorporates your debt strategy, your investment strategy, also incorporates your protection strategy all in one. So by putting this all together, what we essentially do is what's called an EFA, an expert financial analysis tool that's kind of like a one-stop shop to simplify the complicated and give you an actual roadmap to follow. So this is the power of really what we do. And so when you look at, the peace of mind that comes from this, so many people just want to have these strategies in place with their debt, their insurance, their investments, their retirement, and all the things that go along with that. So when you think about that, how many people need an expert financial analysis? In my view, everyone needs it. Whether you're just starting out, whether you're in mid-stage, or whether you're nearing retirement, everyone can benefit from that peace of mind and having a strategy. So the question, today really is there a need for what we do? The answer absolutely is yes. And that's why we're so excited as a company. That's why we're here. That's why I love what I do. I love helping families, and we love making a difference and an impact. So when you look at this as an option or client perspective, the first option could be just learn how these concepts and strategies could work in your own situation. So book your own EFA with the person that invited you today, or with a licensed professional that they can refer you to. The second area could be just a second opinion on what you're already doing. You might already have some great stuff you're doing, but our agents work to find options and to enhance what you're already doing, or to share some ideas that you may not be taking advantage of yet. And that's super powerful for those of you that are already kind of down that track. And so getting that second opinion never hurts. All of these, by the way, are no cost or no obligation to you. And that's wonderful because there's no pressure. We're not salesy. We're not pitchy. We don't do that. That's not the way we operate. It's good information, empowering you to make better decisions for you and your family. And so we love what we do as a company. The third option might be, you know what, Darren, I definitely know some people could benefit from this. I'm going to refer some people to my friend, or, to who the person that invited me to take a look at this and watch this video and this information. But I definitely know some people who need this information. But don't ignore the steps 1 and 2 for yourself, and so take advantage of that. All right, I want to switch gears now. I want to have some fun with you. If you want to stay on for the second part here, you're welcome. If you've seen enough here and you're just here for the client information, you can stop here. But I would encourage you just to carry on, because you might be able to refer somebody to our great company that is maybe looking to build an extra $2-3 grand a month part-time, or maybe $2 to $3 grand a week in this great industry or more. So let's switch gears now. Let's talk about the opportunity. I'm going to switch and ask you to put your business hat on. If everyone really needs what we do, so everyone today that gets a paycheck really needs what we do. So what is the opportunity in the industry to do what we do, and how can you make money doing that? So let's jump in. The first thing, though, I want to start with is, why would anyone want to change their job or career? Well, for most people, they wish they could have a nicer home for their family, or a bigger home, or maybe rental properties to rent out and make wealth through that way. Maybe it's a nice fancy car. Maybe it's to go on some nice trips. Maybe it's to have some fun toys to go, bomb around in and have a good time. For me, I told you my story earlier, $116,000 in credit card debt. When I saw this same type of presentation, changed my life forever. I started cutting my debt, paying down my debt, but I also got in this industry and was able to go on and make a 6-figure income in my first year. I was able to go then pay off all that debt, buy my first home, and within 2 years had a home, a new vehicle, paid off all my debt, and I was back on track because of this great industry of the extra income I got to earn while I was doing other things. And so for some people, it's to have a large family, or maybe it's a small family. These are some of our agents' children. And for others, is taking care of family. So this is my personal story here. My late father passed away in 2020, just before COVID. It was a very, very tough time on the family. And, I was able to be there for my dad so many times and be there. I didn't need permission from a boss. I didn't need paid time off or unpaid leave, things like that. I didn't burn out my holidays or vacation because I was my own boss running my own business in Experior in this business. So I could be there for my dad. My mom recently was in cardiovascular ICU for 25 days, 30 days in recovery, 55 days in the hospital. For most people, there'd be no way a family could spend enough time there. We were there as a family, and I was there with my brother almost every other day or every second day, third day. We were always there for her. And I believe today she's with us today because of us being there, because I had the ability to work around my schedule, being my own boss. I had that flexibility of time, money, freedom to be there for her. And I believe today she's here and alive because we were able to be there and, taking care of her and talking to her and being there and supporting her through that, incredibly tough time. She had open heart surgery. So cardiovascular ICU is the open heart surgery unit of the Mazankowski Hospital here in my city. But I was able to be there. I can tell you can't pay me any amount of money, anything that could ever take place of helping to be there to support her in that tough time. And that's the challenge with so many families. You were so pressured today with financial, issues, that how are we able to take any time off or fly across the country to be with family in need or give her support? So again, it was a very, very challenging time, but because this amazing industry, I was able to be there. Maybe that's you. Maybe you want to take care of your parents one day. For some of you, it's putting your kids through, giving them a better opportunity than maybe you had in your lifetime. And maybe that's why, so many people have come to Canada to live and work here. And for those who are born here, my dad immigrated through the States, so did my mom's side, but I was born here in Canada. So for some of us, it's putting our kids, in a better position than we did. But at the end of the day, there's really one word that summarizes all this up as to why anyone looks at a different career profession. It's freedom. It's total freedom to have the time, the money, and the freedom to do what you want, where you want, with who you want, for as long as you want, wherever you want. And that's really what we're looking for. So let's dive into that. What does that look like? What would an extra $2-3 grand a month do for you? What would you do with that money? Would you pay off some debt, eat out a few nights of the week? My wife and I went out for dinner here a little while ago. It was beautiful. And we do that sometimes just to treat ourselves. But is it saving for a new home or car, investing in the kids' education or in a charity or a vacation, just investing more, helping friends and family? For most of us, just a little tiny more money, would change our life, even $1,000 a month. Yes or no? Would that allow us to live a simply better quality of life with just $1,000? I absolutely would agree. So by earning an extra income in this industry, it's the ability for you to make some extra choices, save, put some money away, maybe pay off some debt faster, and do some other things with your life. So can you make money? Well, here's the beauty of our industry. We have a part-time career. If you go make $2-3 grand a month part-time, helping 2 to 3 families a month, that's an amazing income here. Trainers with you every step of the way, earning while you're learning, kind of going at your pace, which is so awesome because being able to twin your career, have what we call a side hustle or a side business, or, I always tell people, your employment pays your bills, but your business creates your fortune. Employment pays your bills, but business creates your fortune. The challenge of being an employee for most people is it's linear income. You're kind of renting your life out. So until you get making residual income money, you're really always got to kind of go to work, get paid, come home. Go to work, get paid, come home. It's like a linear type income. If you don't go to work one day, you don't get paid. So our industry happens to be one of the most incredible residual income industries in the world today. So what happens to most people? They start getting good at this. They take our training. We have weekly training, evening training, weekend training, during the day training for whatever level you're at. And so at some point when you start making more money than your current job, you now have a full-time career choice to make. And so you activate residual income, you have client ownership, there's a valuation to a client book of business. And from there, you can look at maybe becoming an agency owner. This is where you expand your business and you actually teach others to do what you were taught to do. And so I was very early on encouraged to have my own agency. And I love the idea of having an agency. It's kind of like a Remax agency where you can grow and open up more and more Remax agencies. But in our world, it's a financial agency. So here you get to earn additional agency overrides, promote other agency owners, build a business across Canada and the States, and have business ownership. And so if you know Robert Kiyosaki, he always talks about the ESB&I, having a business with a system that builds with or without you. And really, that's what we have here at Experior. So how do you make money? Let's take a look at helping one family We have 4 different titles in our company. These are the main titles that you get promoted to. So you start as a financial associate, work your way up. So as a financial associate, helping just one family with $100 a month protection strategy, that's $1,200 of yearly premium they would be paying on that protection strategy. That would pay you $840. As a senior financial associate, a lot of our agents do this in their first 60 to 90 days. That would now pay you $1,000 for helping one person with one strategy. As a senior manager, $1,200. As an executive director, $1,440. How about this? What about if you're helping 4 people a month, one person a week with the same protection strategy? That would be $4,800 of yearly premium. And at each level here, it's basically 4 times the income. So you can see here how all of a sudden with this income, you now are in a position to really almost have a full-time income and you're still part-time. This is the beauty of our business. And what happens now is you start to look at the ability to own your own financial agency. So here's an example of what we call an executive director agency. This is where you have built an agency with yourself and other people you're working with. So here's an example of a 7-person agency doing $25,000 of that yearly or annual premium, to which you're doing some yourself and your team is doing the other part. So now you have income residually coming in. You can now see that the income is not just on your own pen, but it's with working with a team. So by teaching others how to do what you do, you earn what's called spread income or agency income. So the difference of contracts here. Now we have what's called a bonus system in our system, in our company and within the industry. So 140% means a bonus number on your first year of commission of that policy. So it's an extra bonus. So the difference of bonus here is what we call spread in business. It's no different than working for your boss. Your boss makes a spread or an override on your business, or the owner, has employees. They make the lion's share of the money, but the employees take a cut of that. And so that's how normal business works. So with this income right now, this is where you start to see that kind of, significantly higher income than what we're used to in normal jobs. And so that's a 144 income plus residual on money, residual on insurance. So that residual income is what really sets us apart from almost any other industry. I've got brothers in real estate. I got friends that are mortgage brokers. They have very little residual income, if any at all. And so in our business, we have residual income and we have agency income. So it's an amazing place to be if you're looking to build for yourself a business. Now, let's touch base a little bit on the power of our residual income concept. So imagine this. What if we teach you in the next 6 months to 12 months to have a simple residual income of $1,000 to $2,000 a month? Realizing that this is 12 months of income, $1,000 is $12,000 a year. $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year. If you take this amount of money in an investment account, in your investment account, if you're earning 5%, for example, on this, and you're in retirement, this would pay you $12,000 and this would pay you $24,000, the equivalent of having built a business with a monthly residual income of $1,000 or $2,000. So what do you think would be easier right now? Do you have the ability to put away that kind of money in the next 6 months to 12 months to amass $480,000? I would say that almost no one can do that unless you're a famous actor or a famous movie star or a famous singer, right? And so what about this? What if we teach you how to keep growing your business and you build your residual income now to a $5,000 a month residual income? That's $60,000 a year, which is essentially 5% of 1.2 million. Remember the FIN number we talked about earlier, 1.2 million, there you go. So you literally could build a business. We've got many, many people that have done this in a year or less, 2 years, 3 years. What if it took you 3 years to do it? Would you care knowing that you've built a business that's the equivalent of having saved and socked away and persevered 2-3 jobs to build up that $1.2 million over many years of compound interest? But what if you had the best of both worlds? What if you start earning more and more income and you start hitting that $10,000 a month residually? That's the equivalent of $2.4 million in investments at 5% interest. I can tell you right now, the beautiful thing about our business is as your business continues to grow, you start to build more and more and more. We've got hundreds of people in Experior doing this already and hundreds more on the way. And so imagine the ability to have the best of both worlds. What if you could have this residual income over here, and we also teach you how to invest that income you're earning and build for yourself double power by having the investment side and the business side working for you. In Robert Kiyosaki's world, that's the B and the I quadrant. And so again, it helps you to get out of the employee or self-employed quadrants into the business owner and investor quadrant. So this is a really powerful tool because it's helping so many people catch up on their financial strategy or catch up on their retirement strategy. So we love this. It's so amazing. On top of that, we have what's called a legacy ownership program. So if you built a business with Experior and you want to retire one day, or God forbid, we're disabled or passed early, this business would pass to your spouse. My wife, Stephanie, would be my beneficiary. She's my named beneficiary on my agency. So God forbid, if I were to pass early or suddenly, she can carry on the business 100%. Or she could take our legacy ownership program to get residual income the rest of her life. And so depending on the levels we qualify for, there's 4 different levels here. But if you've got children, imagine being able to pass this amazing business on, this residual income business, this getting out of the job linear income into a residual income business and pass it on to your children and future generations, and intergenerationally create that wealth for you and your family. What a concept. We love what we do here. It's an amazing opportunity. How about this? How about earning shares in Experior? So we have a share earning program where you can celebrate in the company's growth and financial success. And we've been doing this now since I was here early on. And more and more people now are earning shares in the company, owning a piece of the company. It's kind of like the old WestJet story when you used to have shares in Canada. They got bought out by Onyx years ago. It's not the same company. And but those people that had shares and earned shares did very well. And so what about earning shares? One of the fastest growing financial services companies in North America, and being able to one day benefit from that in dividends, or if we ever take on a partner or ever decide to buy out some of the shares, you get an opportunity to cash in on that growth of those shares. So again, what an awesome position to be in. Now it comes down to kind of the final few questions here that people always ask. Darren, looks great. I love it. I love the clients. I definitely want to get my EFA done. I definitely want to take a look at the business, but I don't know if I can do it. And I sit with many people and they always say, Darren, do you think I can do it? I say, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Nike is the best slogan ever. Just do it. That's what I had to do. I just had to do it. I had to try it. I give myself 90 full days of effort, and I started to see the results. They taught me how to market myself. They taught me what to say and what not to say. They taught me the financial knowledge. I had a trainer beside me every step of the way. And so I knew that I could do it. So I got to start part-time with no experience. We have nonstop webinars, product knowledge, personal business development, online courses, video library, licensing, all the stuff that you need to become successful. So that's the beauty of this opportunity, is that we have all of this hands-on training, everything you need to become successful. And so that's the beauty of this business, is the ability to be able to do it part-time and work it. So can you do it? I would say, yes, you can. I would challenge you to challenge yourself to grow and make that change, right? So these are all people I get to work with in business. And some of these are still, they're making 6 figures with us. This is a 12-month rolling cash flow. And so these people have crossed over the 12-month cash flow of $100,000. But what I want you to look at on this picture is the diversity of people, the ladies, the gentlemen, the couples, the different, backgrounds, walks of life, races, religions, colors. We don't care. What we care about is you're a good person, have ethics and moral integrity, and you're willing to go to work. And so look at all the previous careers here. This just proves that nobody was born a financial expert or agent or advisor or associate. We all had to learn this business somewhere. So this is the beauty, is it doesn't matter where you've come from. Your background, again, you're whether you're this side of the tracks or those side of the tracks, it doesn't matter. You have a good heart, a passion to win and change your life and set the stage for your family's course of history forever. We'll teach you how to build this business. So the last few slides here, career and lifestyle change. So take a look at today, your current job or the business you have. In 3 to 5 years from now, what is your dream income? Is it $100,000, $200,000, $500,000? What is that dream income? And so if you take a look at kind of where you're at right now and ask yourself this question, if I keep doing what I'm doing today, where will I be in 3 to 5 years from now with your current job or business? Will it be at that level, or will you be like everybody else that's been there for the same length of time or 5 or 10 years longer, and they're no further ahead than you are? So really at this point, you have 2 options. The first option would be continue as is, and maybe just give up on your goals and dreams and just accept where you're at in life. And that's fine. Some people just settle and they do that. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't settle. I had to achieve more and want to do more. And I felt like if someone could guide me or coach me, I could do more. And why not you? So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to grow and make a change. Change the course of your family history. Get out of linear income and going to work, linear income, get paid, renting your life out the rest of your life. I'm going to challenge you to grow and make a change. So many people have succeeded in this industry and have continued to grow and build their organizations and their agencies. And so we have that ability to do that here. I'm going to challenge you to make that happen for you and your family. And you could be the one person that changed the course of your family's history forever. So in wrapping up here, number one here on the business side, your final options, obviously you can become a client like we talked about earlier, learn how our concept strategy can work in your situation, or get that second opinion on what you're already doing. It never hurts. There's no cost. There's no obligation. We'll deliver for you the greatness of the industry. We'll bring it to your doorstep, and you can decide what's going to be effective for you and your family and put that strategy in place or strategies. The second part is start our part-time training program, gain the knowledge, financial knowledge and education, grow a business income to match your goals and dreams, and really turn on your horsepower and your jets. You weren't put on planet Earth to be average and ordinary. Your creator didn't create junk, okay? They created good, hardworking, ethical people. And so it's up to us to take control of our lives and really go after it. So I would encourage you to do that with your business opportunity here and take a look at number two. Number three would be the ultimate choice is both to say, you know what, Darren, you caught my attention. I love what I've heard. This looks really amazing. I really want to learn and find out more. If you can teach me more of how this works and what this is, I'd love to find out, if I can maybe make this work. But for sure, get your EFA done and then take a look at our part-time training program. And I know you'll never regret it. I've never regretted building this business. I've never regretted being here. I've always loved the fact that I could grow and build a business with residual income. And I can tell you it's changed the lives of so many people who, just like you, are wondering, can I do it? Is this for me? Can this really happen? So with that, I want to just, first of all, congratulate you for taking the time to watch this video. Please get back to the person that shared this information with you and let them know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. And I can tell you one thing for sure. If this isn't for you and you 2-3 months go by, that's fine. It's not for everybody, but I can tell you if it is for you, this might be the greatest life-changing decision you'll ever make in your business career history. And you could be the one person that changed the entire course of your family's history by really going out and making an impact and a difference in our industry and earning that kind of income and then passing that business on down to your family and building intergenerational wealth, this amazing residual income business. And so with that, I just want to say again, thank you for listening and hope to see you very, very soon. Take care.